All right, man. Come on, don't fuck up. We are back. We are back. We're back. Ha ha. Boy, I'm at some. But welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. We are back. We are back here for the Splash Cast. We were getting. Actually, I won't have a lot of editing to do because we were in the transition. Come on, look at God turning a rainy day into a summer morning. Woo-hoo! Y'all like that? Y'all like that?
Bars.
Crazy. That's definitely gonna be in the podcast. Bet you didn't plan on hearing that. Looking at the name of the podcast. Little
Oh yeah,
sermon.
the name itself is surely gonna be
Yeah, the sermon
something.
always gonna be. It's always gonna be a little lily in the valley. Come on now, I went to church on Sunday. Uh,
Bars.
yes sir, yes sir. But we're back, man. We appreciate y'all tuning in. We are back. Chinese weather balloons are here. You know, Chinese weather balloons. Y'all remember that? We gonna stick with that. So we are back. We are here. We are going to go ahead and start back with our basketball segment, news around basketball. Y'all know what it is. We talk about NBA, WNBA, women's college basketball, and make fun of men's college basketball. Other than that's not HBCUs. Got a few things we're going to talk about today. There was. I'm gonna start out with the high school. Actually, I'm gonna start out with the high
Fair enough.
school. Forgive us. Oh, never mind. Somebody said it's Mount Verde. Mount Verde Academy in what is that, Florida?
Yeah, historically known for having elite high
Well, this
school
okay. Well,
basketball.
this makes a whole lot. That's like IMG of football, of basketball,
Yeah.
man. Okay, so Mount Verde's entire senior class went to Division I school. The entire senior class of basketball players, all the seniors. One is going. Miracle's going to Mississippi State. Sonya's going to South Carolina. They've got a few more. Somebody was going to Georgia Tech. I saw they got Kentucky. Jordy Griggs going to Kentucky. And this is the National Signing Day. So then you also have Corey Allen going to Illinois. Wow. They've got the
What
entire
was
squad
practice
and
like?
Baylor.
Damn.
Baylor, and they going to like powerhouses. Georgia,
Yeah.
and of course, Resney going to Georgia Tech. So yeah, man, this entire I think they had 8 seniors I counted just then, 8 or 9. 9 seniors are all going D1, man. That's kind of what you want though.
I would say so. Hey, get that coach a new job. I'm not gonna. Hey, my whole team's going. Don't ask me nothing until what's this 2024. Don't ask me nothing until 2030, bro.
Man, I don't even really have to look up anything.
You had a tough time getting that.
Yeah, like I was gonna say,
You was
did they win the
overwhelmed.
state? Did they win the state championship? Were they in the playoffs? Were they any good? What do you mean? Like you know they made it to at least the championship game.
Fuck you, me.
Yeah, man. So, but shout out to Mount Vernon, man. That still always is something that's pretty dope.
Yeah,
Um,
that's a hell of an accomplishment. I don't care what program you got, and everybody is crazy.
yeah. I would love to see the largest win they had this year. They probably embarrassed somebody.
Yeah, that ruins some kid's life.
Shout out to Malaysia Fuwiley. She is not the first, but she did sign with Curry Brand. Malaysia Fuwiley from the freshman of the year, star freshman
Overall bucket.
point guard for South Carolina. She is signed with Curry Brand. Curry Brand.
Yeah, she signed with Curry Brand. She signed with a barbecue sauce company. The money is there, and she's making it. And she is honestly probably my favorite college basketball player to watch right now. Her and Rob Dillingham. I would like to see them play 1-on-1, and just their handle is unprecedented. It's amazing to watch.
I don't think I have a favorite female basketball player. There's too many of them to like for me. Like I like Angel Reese. Like I like all of South Carolina. Like I like everybody.
But full Wiley's handle is
Yeah,
nuts.
it's
Like
insane. She's crazy. She's crazy. Steph says she's changing the way the game is being played. I don't think anybody plays quite like her.
they
Uh,
don't.
knowing that I can be, she says, knowing that I can be a role model for other young girls to come out here and do exactly what I did, it's pretty amazing. Uh, so shout out to, and I was actually had the question that LSU ran into because they were sponsored by Nike or are sponsored by Nike, and Flage is Adidas, but looks like South Carolina is already sponsored by Under Armour, so no problem there.
No, it's actually even better. Like, that's like double branding. And for her, by the time she go pro, she gonna have her own shoe. She gonna start out with her own shoe.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Rightfully
yeah. You
so.
about to?
Rightfully so.
Ain't that something? You know, more and more women's shoes are being bought. Like it used to be, like girls used to wear boy shoes, like dude shoes, like Jordans, whatever.
Oh no. There are a
Now the
lot of
girl
men wearing
shoes.
Sabrina sneakers. And I tell y'all every week, Sabrina got the best sneaker out. I don't care what y'all say.
Oh yeah, Juju is tough too. Sneaky, you're right. Juju might like take them on a nasty run. She has
I
that
like
ability.
Juju, but Malaysia, oh my God. Watch out. Watch out. Watch out.
Yep, yep, yep. Um, so it has been basically said that the women now own March Madness. According to the Athletic, another article said another giant leap is coming for women's basketball. March Madness is here. They are center stage. The women's stars are shining the brightest. It is the most intriguing. It has the most intriguing storylines, and that's not even debatable. What we're seeing is the women's basketball is a really marketable entity. This could be. That's right. Which is written by the Athletics' Nicole Auerbach. Credit to her. She's right. This could be the tipping point as we talk about men wearing women's shoes, like, and not, I'm just talking about it for whatever, y'all know what I mean. Women's basketball shoes. At this point, they could really put a stranglehold on basketball and put some pressure on the NCAA men's side. Full stop.
Yeah, I mean, there's such different things. Like even like the game is different, the look is different. But also you have brand recognition because you have these people who come like the women make a lot of money in college, a lot more than they can make other places. So they come back. So you get to see this person play year after year after year. So you get a chance to kind of, watch this person grow and matriculate and become a better basketball player. And you've watched their team association versus men's college basketball. If you're good, you're a one and done. So you don't really have that same, oh, that guy, I watched him play X amount of years.
The women's game is establishing a new crop of stars. Like there are you have the ending of you've had the end of really the ending of Candace Parker. What's the one that went to UConn that retired early and went to like free men from jail that were wrongly convicted?
Oh, I can see her
Playing
face
for the
right
Minnesota
now.
Lynx. She's like
Oh,
she would have
yes.
been the greatest women's basketball player of all time. She's the greatest Lynx player. She only played like 6 seasons. When you find that, let me know. But you
Yeah.
have them. But now, you know, the whole Brittany Griner situation dimmed her light a little bit. Not saying it was her fault, but I'm just saying it dimmed her light and dimmed a light on and shone a light on how a lot of other people felt. Unfortunately, she got strays for that.
Maya Moore.
Maya Moore, there you go. Thanks, Sneaky. But then
Oh, that too.
and then you had Liz Cambage, right? She was on her way to becoming the face of women's basketball, and she unfortunately went her way. Things didn't go her way. So, or they did, depending on how you look at it.
Yeah.
And then
Some
yeah,
have
like
for sure.
so you have Asia Wilson and you have Brianna Stewart and you have now Ionescu. But I think the concentration of stars of this class, these next probably two classes that are coming out, especially this class, was that Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, Haley Van Lith, Cardoza. You got all of
That's the
those
kind
seniors
of
coming
tricky
out.
part about this
Mm-hmm.
is as much as needs these players to not play 4 years of college. The thing is, they come in with brands. So I mean, it's the same thing like when Caitlin Clark. As soon as they knew that she was going to the WNBA, the Indiana Fever tickets sold out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, at this point, hell, there's no NBA team. There's no NBA prospects. You can be like, oh, this year when this guy, especially this year specifically, where the draft is kind of flat. So you don't really know what you're gonna get. And whoever the number one pick is, like they're gonna be. I think this is gonna be one of the lowest heralded number one picks in a very long time.
Since Anthony Bennett, this is going to be the worst draft class since the Anthony Bennett went number one in that class. That men's draft class, and there will be some good players through there that will show up, but there is no established dominant player. Everybody's looking forward to next year. Like next year
Yeah,
is
I
going to be
think.
kind
I
of
mean,
crazy.
yeah, because you got your boy Cooper Flag, you got the other dude that plays center for Duke. I mean, I think that Alexander Sarr looks to be the number one pick, and he's another very coordinated, talented 7-footer from
Mm-hmm.
France, but it's
Mm-hmm.
just not the same Wimby type of. And even Wimby was a whirlwind. For him to be that tall and that skilled, he kind of popped up out of nowhere. I mean, there's no other way really to put it.
Wimby, I feel like LeBron had a bigger build up than Wimby, and maybe because he was
Absolutely,
overseas
without a
versus
doubt.
LeBron being here. Like Wimby kind of showed up in 18 months and was like, "Hey, this guy's about to be the greatest basketball ever. You've never seen anything like it." And it was
Yeah.
like even Giannis came on to the scene at like 15, right? And he was drafted at 18. Wimby came in 18 months, dog, and was like, "I'm the number one pick." Maybe 24, maybe 24, but back to the women though, that article pointed something out that I have said because they have to stay there for 3 years. And now that the transfer portal is open, this creates so many storylines in women's college basketball because you have players that have transferred, you have people uh, that are basically looking for storylines. They're here. For example, Haley Van Lith played at Louisville. She's famously got beat by Caitlin Clark, and she was talking trash to Caitlin Clark, even though they were down 20. And Caitlin Clark said, "Shut up, you're down 26." And one of the best, I think, two game moments that somebody could have in terms of talking trash. That and the you can't shoot anyway.
Yeah.
Like, but she transferred to LSU. Well, LSU will now have to play Louisville in the first round of the NCAA tournament.
Second round, second round,
Second
second
round,
round, second round.
second round,
Yeah.
second round. Yeah.
But they're both slated to win the first game. So it's highly likely, pretty much understood that they will see each other in the second round, which it gives you anticipation for like another, second round isn't typically where it really gets that, competitive or, it's typically the later rounds. But this, you get your smoke real early, right here, real fast. And
Louisville ain't bad now.
I
They
know
the number six
Louisville
seed.
wants, yeah, Louisville wants to
Camera.
beat them, and I know LSU wants to just destroy them.
Yeah, yeah. I think Hanley Van Lith. She's kind of struggled finding her spot. She's played well in places, but you're seeing like when you play with other great players in the game, it's hard to get a lot of shots. But she's finding her space.
Absolutely.
Louisville winning would be remarkable, but they would then blame all of that on Angel Reese. So I'm just looking forward to that storyline. But and then you have coaches like West Virginia's Mark Kellogg saying, "Hey, let's send Caitlin Clark packing," as she was talking to the players and boosters and supporters of the team at their tournament announcing party. Let me tell you, as they play them in the second round, and they're both slated to win. Let me tell you what's not gonna happen, brother. Caitlin gonna go for, and now this is a thing. Caitlin gonna go for 70, 75.
I mean,
You got to say it though, as a coach.
yeah, like that's the thing. You gotta say it. There's also if you pull it off, it's like the dude who from McNeese State, they called his shot. He said
Mm-hmm.
next season we're gonna be one of the best teams and turned it around. So yeah, this is I mean, now we live in the era of clicks.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a way to get your program. We weren't going to talk about you any other way. Let's be real here. So you said something inflammatory. You probably going, people are gonna wait for you to fail. So people will be watching. And yeah, now it's box office. It's interesting. So it's the game that we play at this point.
Yeah, yeah, and don't let you go out there and have a good game. Like y'all barely lose. Like if y'all barely lose, now all of a sudden y'all
Yep.
on the cusp. You're on the
Yep.
cusp, right? So,
Yep.
and that plays into seeding for next year as well. So it's a lot of storylines in this tournament. Uh, let's go to men's basketball real quick. So, um, what are we going to talk about first? So you got so we're gonna talk about firings and then firings and flourishing. So shout out to Joanne Howard, man. We think you did a great, you put in a great effort at Michigan. I think you're a product of the times. He was let go at from Michigan after a rough season. You could see that it was kind of weighing on him at the state of that team as he was getting technical fouls, he was getting ejected, he was going on the court. Just looks like a stressed
Bro, you
human
just
being.
probably a pro coach.
You think so?
Yeah. Charlotte Hornets, get him on the line.
That's not bad. I would love to see it. That'd be a hell of a jump to go from fired at Michigan to head coach of the Charlotte Hornets. But
I mean, at the end of the day, but he spent so much time. I mean, wasn't he a Miami Heat coach assistant for a long time too?
he's got the
So yeah,
credentials.
if you've been a long term assistant, you've been, he didn't have a bad. I don't think his record is bad with Michigan. I think it's
It's
okay.
bad this year. It's bad this year.
I mean, but a bad season is a bad season. Like all Pop
Bro, we are
and then had a
SEC
bunch of bad.
football. We are SEC
Yeah,
football fans. Sometimes some programs don't allow you to have more than two. It doesn't happen.
Florida. I'm waiting on them to fire. How'd you want Howard gets fired before Billy Napier? To me, is it's beyond understanding on my plate. But hey, we just dealing with what we can. Fire baby Billy. Remember that.
So, from one end of the spectrum to another, Long Beach State coach Dan Munson was fired after 17 years. But the school said they were going to do right by him and allow him to coach out the Big West tournament. They just won the Big West title and are now going to the NCAA tournament for the first time in over a decade. Ha, ha, ha. Let me tell you what I would be doing if I were Mr. Dan Munson. I'd be talking my shit. Talking my shit, bruh.
Not me. I'm filling out applications. Hey, y'all remember that guy that they just fired? The guy that you seen on the news story everywhere? It me. Yeah, and I would love. Hey, Michigan. Y'all hiring?
Well, look at that, right? Like, well,
Funny
look at
story,
that.
right?
Yeah. How does Long Beach State? Let me tell
It
you,
sucks. If you're the
athletic director. I was about to say the same thing as
you
an
gonna mess
athletic
with-
director.
You got me fired. You mess around, get fired doing this.
You will get
We've
fired.
We've never been here before, and you fired the man.
Imagine the booster
Hey.
that became a booster like 9 years ago, and like you were they've been terrible for 9 years, and now because you don't really make a move without somebody knows. Some of the boosters know.
Correct.
You don't really make a move without somebody knowing. You make a move and then they go to the tournament. That
Yep, that's on you.
is ugly.
Your fault, your problem, something for you to deal with. And they looking at you crazy. Yeah. Hey, better hope they lose. If they win
Don't let them
again,
win.
you a fire
Price
ass
going
man.
up. Price going
Hey.
up. Matter of fact, just give me your
Yeah.
salary.
Price going up, and you going out the door. Any door, find any door. Find it, get out, don't come back.
Oh man, speaking of any door, let me tell y'all something. There's a lot of things as coaches that you have to do. You have to be sometimes mentors, pseudo parents. You have to be calm in the storm. You have to be able to lead young men and young women at their lowest point. But I don't know if I was Kent State's head coach and
Mm.
Kent State's teammate, I would have to take a knee and pray on the bench before I go into the locker room. And I'd have to talk to each individual student before they go in the locker room. Kent State, the number 8 seed, was up in the MAC tournament championship game at 17-16, 8-10. They are not going to the tournament if they don't win. They were up 61-60 over the number 2 seeded Akron Zips, as I believe is that their name.
Right.
They go up 61-60. Please play. Yes. So they're down 60-59 with 9.5 seconds for those that are listening. Man, Kent State hits the shot with 6.2 seconds to go 61-60, and the teammate for Kent State fouls thinking that they were down 61-60 instead of up 61-60. Look at the coach. And you know he's so sick.
Emotional damage.
Oh, he's sick too. And they hit both free throws, and that's how they lose. As a coach, right there in that moment, I paused it right there. Right there.
I promise to love faithfully.
How do you react in this moment? To the
Lord above. As a faithful Christian, I just give it all to the
Lord above. Lord, you better send the chariot down.
Guide me, show me what please give me the message from whence I'm supposed to learn from this situation. I need you to command me. I need a spirit of healing. I need patience. I need love. And I mean, I'll be honest, it's me. I'm gonna crack a joke. That's my coping mechanism, is making jokes at the wrong time.
I don't know, bro.
What you expect me to do? Like,
he's
I
so
know what
sick.
my joke is.
Look,
this is what happens when your career is tied to a child.
He's sick. That player is absolutely sick. He's absolutely sick, and they lose the game, and he is so hurt. Look at dude on the bench. Like, he is so hurt, and Akron makes it to the tournament. And I don't think they made it to the tournament recently either. So it's not like but boy, that is a tough way to lose, boy. I don't know what speech I'd have.
I mean, this is what happens when you have collegiate sports, though.
Ooh. Yeah. Now, that would have me watch. That's why you watch the tournament, for stuff like this. As much as we talk bad about the NCAA tournament, I'm gonna watch the first couple rounds. I'm gonna watch them just because
it's the foolishness. You know, foolishness is afoot.
Yeah, it is. It is, man. I can't wait for the upsets, and because there's so much more parity now, that's gonna be kind of crazy. Speaking of foolishness, though,
and by parity it means we don't know any of these players other than Rob Dillingham. Rob with the shits is the real deal, though.
Yeah, Rob's nice. Eddie House. Speaking of foolishness, Eddie House's son Jalen House plays for New Mexico. Yeah, New Mexico, over in the Mountain West Conference. They are the number 6 seed. They made it to the championship game, and they ended up winning, and they are going to the tournament as, I believe, an 11 seed. And Eddie House was so hyped, he was caught on tape saying, "That's my mother effing son. That's my mother effing son." As his son was balling, though. He went kind of crazy. Look at that. Ooh, crazy.
Yeah, hey, that's like my Uncle Curtis, y'all. That's my nephew right there now.
That's my boy.
Uncle Curtis, not that long ago. He appreciated the podcast. Shout him out. But yeah, man, like, number one, we grew up watching Eddie House play basketball, and now to see him as a parent and like a real parent, like, you know, a lot of parents don't get that moment to really, you know, you gotta like play it cool. Nah, he's like, nah, that's my son right there. And shout out to Black Dads. We support you guys.
Yeah, man. He was so hyped, and they made it to the tournament again. This is why you make it. As much as we talk about it, I'm locked in. My bad, y'all. I used to like you know, in North Carolina, they used to like wheel in, and when I was in school, at the end of the year, they used to like wheel in the TV, and like we would watch the tournament. Like if you had PE,
Yeah.
they would be like, "We ain't going outside. We got to watch the tournament." And we would just watch the tournament all day.
We'll be right there. Hey, oh, yeah, man, they murdered a human.
And
But
man,
yeah, like that used to be the thing. We had them brackets. Teachers used to be irritated by that too. Y'all here to do schoolwork? No, we're not, man. It's March. We're here to watch college basketball. Shout out to Coach Cox. He used to let us watch basketball.
damn,
Get out of there.
You froze?
Man, we not gonna put him into our foolishness from earlier. Nah, psychology coach, basketball coach. I mean, psychology teacher and basketball coach. That's my guy.
All right, man. But yeah, man, I definitely am about to watch the entire tournament, bro. I can't wait. One of my favorite times of the year. Let's move on to NBA. Where you want to start?
We can start
You
with
wanna talk about-
the air mattress man himself.
You don't want to talk about the Hawks?
Yes, we can talk about the Hawks that are now 6-4 without their leader.
I don't know
think you
who that Hawks team was that showed up again. Like I said, we had the debate last week. A lot of those wins, while they were against teams, we didn't play anybody's number one. Well, we played the Clippers a 1, a 2, and 3, and went into LA.
All future Hall of Fame.
Went into LA and dominated them. At one point, we were about 28 points. Jalen Johnson, yes. DeJounte Murray is nice. Yes, DeJounte Murray is probably the emotional rock of this team, but Jalen Johnson is the best player on the team. Jalen Johnson has the biggest impact that I've seen on this team and since probably Trey.
He gives you an alternate point guard. He gives you a guy who can run the break. And that's the one thing that out of everything that that's the reason we got DeJounte in the first place is we only had one guy who could really handle the ball, and that was Trey. So we got DeJounte so we could have another guy. And then after that, we find out like what we kind of already
knew. I'm about to say we already knew it. We knew he got from a rookie.
He's Ben Simmons.
What Ben Simmons
he's great
was
value,
supposed to
Ben
be.
Simmons.
What he was supposed to be.
Like he's a willing 3-point shooter. I saw him make a couple passes. Bigs do not make. I'm talking about like
his threes getting better too.
Overhead soccer skip pass, skip bounce pass. I was like, oh, you get confident now. Now that's the only thing that was tragic is we could have had it just pisses me off. Pisses me off so bad because we could have had 48 good minutes at center between Okongwu and Capella. We should have 48 minutes.
Yes, Nikki,
excellent
healthy
power
back
forward
Ben Simmons. Pause.
out of John
That
Collins.
is pausey.
Out of John Collins and Jalen Johnson. Like we could have legitimately we had the team. And Amin Hassan said it. He was like, he said that if you take Trey off this team and put Luke on this team, this Hawks team has won at least one championship, maybe 2 or 3.
No. In the East? I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think so at all.
I think you have at least one championship.
I think you don't have as many breakdowns, and I like especially like team breakdowns. I think you are a better team with Luka at this point. It's no questions. But I don't think you're good enough to win a championship. But back to your Jalen Johnson discussion, which is what we were talking about. Jalen has gotten confidence in his 3-point shot. He was shooting 3-pointers over Kawhi and hitting them. Now, Kawhi would come back and hit like 8 straight points on you. But, I mean, it's Kawhi.
He's going to do that either way.
And he was guarding Kawhi pretty well.
Yeah.
Krejci, while he's not great at really anything, what he can do is move his feet on defense. And he frustrated James Harden the whole night because he's 6'8". He blocked James Harden's layup, and after he blocked James Harden's layup and then ripped him, James was never the same. And I do think James might have been tired or they taken whatever. Paul George got put in the blender defensively. Like the Hawks that was the best defensive game I had seen all year. And DeJounte Murray definitely knows, like, I think that's the thing that Trey probably needs to learn more from DeJounte. DeJounte knows when to get hot. Like, they cut the lead down to like 12 points. We were up by 28 points at one point, and they
He's
cut
not
the
a
lead down.
quitter. He don't just give up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I ain't gonna say he's not perfect. He DeJounte definitely has his flaws in his game. He sometimes falls into the Trey Young, I'm gonna just keep chucking it. But he's not out there like chucking it just to chuck it. He's like, I'm gonna go down and fight. Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna try my damnedest. That's the reason where, like, there is a part of me that, like, I wish we could have kept Kevin Herter, but Kevin Herter just didn't have that never say die attitude. That's the reason that I'll be very honest. They can't let him, they couldn't trade him to the Lakers. Because
No.
that would have taken all the pressure. Like, that's
LeBron,
what
I see why
LeBron
LeBron
wants.
is furious. LeBron has to be furious. Seeing this every week, I know
Oh,
he's
and these
like,
40-point games. Oh, and he was this close to being traded. Oh, you crazy as hell. Had we let him go? Oh, did that? And I'm gonna tell you, that might be the best move that they made.
that
Is
might
not
be.
letting DeJounte Murray walking out the door.
I was about to say that might be the best adjustment that Coach Quinn has made all year. Remember, Coach Quinn went to the front office and said, "Do not trade DeJounte Murray."
You better chill out on that. Y'all
He
can do
said,
all the rest of that talking y'all want to. But what y'all better not do is trade him. Like, I need him, and I don't want to beat a dead horse. I told y'all I think that DeJounte is the best player on our team. I think that
I know.
if you pair him with any level of
Sneaky
like
disagree with you
a
a little
nut,
bit. Go ahead.
you don't think his selfishness is it's
So
you can I see it. But what I was saying was just if you put DeJounte next to another guard who just wants to play defense and now DeJounte's your worst defender, that's really the thing is DeJounte is not a
I
great
mean,
defender, but when he's not the guy who you got to count on, like if he's your worst defender, then you got a thing going. And that's the reason just consistently we don't give up 30-point quarters anymore. Now, is it gonna happen from time to time? Yes. But on regular, we score a lot less points, but hell, we give up a lot less points, and it gives us a chance to be in the game.
didn't DeJounte get like second team all defense a couple times? Wasn't he? Isn't he all defensive player?
Yes, you're right. You're right. But
I ain't
being
say
here
nothing
in
yet. I
Atlanta,
just
yeah, being in Atlanta has exposed that he's not the defensive player that we thought that he was. Playing for the Spurs, it kind of hit him. And I think that, I mean, Pop is also a much better defensive coach. But DeJounte is a good basketball player, but his defense isn't what it was advertised. But his will to win is probably better. And at the same time, he also is on a very team friendly contract. And that's all you can ask for.
I don't. I I don't think his defense has. I think he's still a defensive specialist. I don't. To me, it seems like the offense was more. The offense was more weighing on him, like the way that the
That
offense.
too.
Oh my lord! Anthony Edwards.
Yeah, I missed it, but I heard that it was
Oh, oh, how do I send this to Instagram, bruh? But yeah, so DeJounte Murray is, I think he's still an all defensive player if he needs to be. Lord, we need to find that. Find it. He's an all defensive player. So what I'm responding to is you're saying
Don't worry,
that
here it is.
what I'm responding to is you saying that if he's your worst defender. Yeah, I mean, that's like having Jaylen Brown or Drew Holiday be your worst defender. Like,
I don't think he's in that category of player. Like defensively, I don't think he's that. But I mean, I just think that our team just looks Oh my goodness, it was John Collins. Damn, JC. Damn, hate to see it.
That's one thing that you have stopped arguing.
I mean, no, it's going to happen because JC jumps. He's one of the few players in the NBA who still plays defense. So that's going to happen. But you got flushed on, buddy. Poor life decision for you. Hate to see it, kid. Thoughts and prayers. Oh my God, it's bad.
It's bad. But you
That's
did say
my
something
boy,
about
too.
Jalen Johnson being Ben Simmons who without the back injury. Unfortunately, Ben Simmons just underwent a successful microscopic partial discectomy to alleviate the same nerve impingement in his lower back to make a full recovery for training camp next season. Are you still laughing at John Collins?
Hey, John Collins, you better be glad you got that Embiid dunk, boy, because I'm going to tell you. This one,
oh, you just saw
you
it?
my boy. I finally got a real chance to see that body bag. And let me tell you, JC, it's tough.
Is it that bad?
Boy,
I got. Could you put it on the list and we'll look at it?
I'm trying to send it, but my computer.
But yeah, Sneaky, they can't quit Ben, dog. Ben Simmons is, dang, John Collins. Ben Simmons is like, bro, they keep him around because they have to pay him. That's the only, like, there's, if they didn't pay him this much, like, there's no reason for him to be in the NBA anymore except for collect checks. And I think he knows it too. This is why he's collecting this last contract. He ain't coming back. He's not. Why would we think that he's going to be back next year? Why would we think that?
Yeah, I can't.
Zion is more reliable than him.
Substantially. Yeah, I mean, Zion is putting it together. At the end of the day, when it was time for it, he showed up.
Ben Simmons looks like just dumb Tim Duncan. Like you have totally ruined. You were supposed to be it, dude. You could do everything on the court except for shoot. You were the next iteration of Draymond. Like, we thought I wanted you to go to the Warriors, honestly. I was like, yo, but they just couldn't afford it. If they ever cut you where they don't have to pay you, I wanted you to go to the Warriors and learn from Draymond because you could do everything that Draymond does. But bruh, like, come on, man. This is worse than Embiid started his career. This is the worst than Embiid. Embiid would miss 2 years?
I feel bad because I think it's psychological more than anything.
You know what's wild? They did bring up, like, when did he hurt his back, and nobody really answered it. But he keeps having these back surgeries. Like, that nerve, whatever that nerve is, and I will say, nerves, now they can hurt. Did you freeze? Nerves can hurt a little bit.
Yeah, I did,
but, you know, I just hope he gets better and finds a happy space in life.
Yeah, like there's a point where, like, all the jokes and we want to talk about, you know, and laugh and Brokeback Ben and all of that was a thing, but at the same time, man, I never want to see a player be destroyed. You know, at the end of the day, we want to laugh and joke and enjoy these moments. Like, we're gonna laugh at John Collins getting cooked.
As soon as you put that on the list, I'm about to watch it. I'm about to pull it up right now.
I don't want to see anybody emotionally just be destroyed like that. That's not it either.
Yeah, man. I want to see him bounce back. Kind of like how Ayton has done. Like, Ayton the last month has been balling out of control. And he said after he just destroyed the Hawks, and he said, kind of opening up about his season struggles, he said, people forget the humane difference of me adjusting. He was like, dog, I was sleeping on an air mattress at the beginning of the year because I hadn't found a place to stay yet. Like, we did report, you remember when, like, he got stuck in his driveway and he was late to the game. Like, while we do make fun of him for a lot of stuff, what? That wasn't him?
Why in the hell are you sleeping on an air mattress? Bro, if you sleep on an air mattress, you dumb diddy dumb. You're dumb.
I tried to set it
What
up to be nice. My man
what
said,
do you
nah.
think? No, why were you sleeping on an air mattress? And the Blazers, they should take you outside, whoop your ass for sleeping on an air mattress. You could have been this good all season. Did you have like a tanking program that we didn't know about? You know, Scoot's struggling, right? Like he could have probably used your help as a veteran and a leader, getting paid a bunch of money. But your dumb ass is sleeping on the air mattress. Why not? And they probably like, bro, we would have bought you a bed.
Yeah.
You could have stayed at our house, bro. Anything so that, man, if I'm trying to see Billis, this is a Bill Cosby movie. This is the dumbest thing that I've ever heard. Yo, I'm trying to see Billis. I promise, right in the middle of practice, I'm slapping the fire out of you. You telling me because you did? Why did you know? I'm an NBA champion. I'm rich.
Oh, sneaky. I'm not saying that. But also, let's examine that for a second. Where you find an air mattress for a 7-footer? Like, did he just buy 3 air mattresses and put them together? Like, bruh.
From his sound, it looked he sounds like the type of dude that'll do that.
Instead of getting a bed.
Just, ooh.
Bro, now that you say that, you lying. And Sneaky, and this is to address Sneaky's comment about who? Wasn't he just we don't do that, but come on, bro. We know that you had a bed to sleep in. You were posting about it. Sounds like an excuse. Dang, dominating. Yep. Way to turn something into shout out to Norwood. Exposing the lies that we talking about. Bro, ain't nobody said, oh, that's sentimental
stupidity.
Stuff. Clickbait.
Stupidity. I'm saying that you were stupid enough to do it. I don't even think that you're lying. I think that you're stupid. And when in my estimation, I'd rather you be stupid. I'd rather you be alive than be stupid in this case. This is just dumb as a box of rocks.
Oh man. So with something else.
No. Now I'm really into this. Like, were you like sleeping on the air mattress in one of them apartments with nothing else in it, TV on the floor? Yeah, like, were you living in poverty as a multimillionaire? Is that what you were doing?
We don't know his personal standing. He may owe some people, or he may be taking care of a lot of people. You never know. Lord, they are talking about this Ant Edwards dunk everywhere.
They should be helping you find a place to lay your head.
Sneaky, get out of there. Sneaky talking about laying on BBLs, bruh. Get out of the alphabet, bruh. You done said BBL. You said D cups. You wildin', son. It's funny though, but yeah, shout out dominating, laying on air mattresses, but still now he has a good bed and he's scoring 30 points a game. Something else that is stupid. The Thunder are the number 1 seed and could have 2 lottery picks next year. They have the Rockets first round pick, which is top 4 protected, and they have the Jazz first round pick, which is top 10 protected, and they have the Clippers first round pick, which is not protected. So the Rockets don't look like they're going to be, well, of course it's a lottery, so it's a little different. But the Rockets are not the 4th worst team in the league, I don't believe. Neither are the Jazz.
As long as Detroit and San Antonio. And not the Pistons. I mean, hold on. Pistons, San Antonio. Hold on. This is the reason we have computers.
Charlotte. Portland.
Yes.
Washington. That's 5.
Oh, yeah. You're right.
That's 5 right there. And I think the Rockets are on the Nets. Are on the net right below the Nets.
Let's look here. Yeah. Wizards, Pistons, Hornets, and then let's look at the West. Spurs. Oh, don't forget about the Grizzlies. And yeah, Spurs, Blazers, Grizzlies, Jazz, all worse than the Rockets.
Yeah, so unless, something happens with the ping pong balls, they're going to get that Rockets pick, and that could be like a number 8, which would be crazy.
Yep, but you know what they're going to do? They're going to go get another 7-footer who can dribble and pass and shoot.
Nah, they're going to package that pick with Josh Giddey and somebody else, and they're going to go get somebody. They're going to go get a vet. Remember, they were talking about trading their picks. They was like, we don't need them. Like, we need. Remember, they said that this year. They said that during the year.
I mean, who can you get?
Anybody. And for a right amount of picks and a couple players, I mean, they go get Trey, bring Trey home. Like they could go get DeJounte. They could get DeJounte. Yeah, they could. They get DeJounte. Put him next to Shy. There you go. That's a crazy defensive backcourt. 6'8", 6'4", both can score.
Shea, Murray, Williams, Chet, Cheese, and Dort.
That's with Dort at the 3, bro. You ain't dribbling the ball. What you doing? Who you going?
And the fact that DeJounte and Shea are big enough, Dort's height is, and you got Chet, who's gonna be second in blocks for the next 40 years to Wemby. Yeah, you covered. You covered.
They can go get anybody.
Jalen Williams.
Yeah, Jalen too. That would be the 4. Jalen would be the 4. Chet would be the 5.
Yeah.
And then they have all those players on the bench.
Yeah.
They don't need a free agent sneaky. They can get anybody. If they get 2 first-round picks in the lottery, they can. The Oklahoma Thunder could go get almost anybody not named like Jalen Brunson or Jimmy Butler, LeBron type. All those players would stay. Kevin Durant.
That's what I was thinking.
But you could go
You could get LeBron. LeBron is cheating.
Put him at the 3. You can go get LeBron.
And they got enough picks. What picks you want? We want Bron.
They got all the picks. Oklahoma City is.
How many does it take? How many of these would you like?
Because y'all don't have any.
You want 4 first-round picks for LeBron? Cool story.
Right now.
I give them to you. Yeah.
Go get Steph.
Like, oh yeah, I got Chet, I got Williams, I got Shea. I finally get to kick my feet up.
Who's a defensive person that you could go get? There's a defensive player that you could get at the back, and then we'll move on to President Steph.
Hunter off the bench.
Hunter. You don't need a scorer. You just need a straight defensive player. Ooh, you know who would be crazy on this team? Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons would be insane. Or they gonna get Jalen Johnson. You give us 3 first-round picks. Like, that's what I'm saying. You could go get somebody like Jalen Johnson.
Yeah. But they ain't let Jalen Johnson. He's on the do not touch list. You can't afford to give him up.
3 first-round picks.
Right now.
You got him in the 2nd round, and they give you 3 first-round picks.
Trey's contract is up in 2026 now. So
there's another one sneaky, Mikal Bridges. That's crazy.
The one. That's the answer.
That's crazy. That's crazy
answer.
But moving on, man. So Steph Curry.
I'll tell you the right guy next season. Bowl. I'll get him in free agency. I don't think the Suns gonna pay him no money. Whatever you ask for, I'll pay you a little bit more. And Chet and Bowl and Dort. and you still could go. I'll be honest, Dort, you probably out of there. No. Yes. No.
Yeah, if you go get
a moving Giddey.
4. Yeah, Giddy's the first to go.
Dort to the 2. Yeah, Williams at the 3, Bowl at the 4, Chet at the 5. Everybody can dribble. Everybody can shoot. What? And we playing that fun basketball too.
Yeah. You can go to the Spurs. You could really go to the Spurs. You could go to, but you're not gonna arm your enemies. You could go to the Pacers. You go to the Pistons. You can get whoever you want off the Pistons. There's really no limit to what they can do. So I expect that now, you're right. When you have all of this, you probably will go get a bigger name. There's no need for you to get another you're trying to get somebody. You're right. Dort doesn't have to start. He come off the bench. He does have a manageable contract. Yeah. But you could go get somebody. You're right. Speaking of the future, let's talk about what these folks have coming
And
up.
Giddy's inability to shoot makes him very movable.
So LeBron, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant. As brands have gotten bigger, you've seen like Kevin Durant with the boardroom, Steph Curry with Under Armour, LeBron with the shop and all of that uninterrupted and all of that stuff that he's doing. Um, they're kind of transitioning into the next wave of life. And an interesting conversation came up with Steph Curry when he had a conversation with CBS on the morning news as a special. Um, Curry says they asked him about potentially running for president, and he says, "I have interest leveraging every part of my influence for good," and didn't rule out talking about going into politics.
That's such a cold ass answer. I have an interest in leveraging every part of my influence, everything for good. Yeah, that's a presidential statement. And he's the babyface assassin.
Where do you
I
think
mean,
where would he run, in California or Charlotte?
pick your poison.
I think he would do better in Cali. I don't know. Charlotte is still. I mean, Charlotte. Well, you seen the candidates from Charlotte this year in North
Yeah,
Carolina.
yeah.
Skin
I
folk ain't
think that that's
kinfolk.
the reason. I think that's the reason that Charlotte, they got to do. What's his name? Tim Robinson. Steph smokes Tim Robinson. Like, yeah,
Not in the
because
South, bro. We are in
Steph is
the
going to get more
Mason
people to
Dixon.
come out and vote. Like,
Fair. You will get more people to come out and vote, but we are still you're still in the South now.
hey, Stacey Abrams can do it. Steph can do it for sure. I've seen that man make every shot. I don't think that this is going to be any different.
Steffi, she lost.
Yeah, but she also flipped. She helped flip the stage. Is what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think it would
Campaign.
be. I'm interested to see it. I'm interested to see Steph and what he does next. LeBron, speaking of what he's doing next, he's transitioning into the next phase of life. I don't, LeBron and JJ Redick are now about to start a podcast called. It's supposed to be a free flowing conversation about the sport of basketball called Mind the Game, where they
Tomorrow.
starts tomorrow. What's interesting about it,
1 trillion views.
I watched the little trailer they posted. Boy, they about to get like real. It's gonna be some real technical conversation in basketball. Like they already starting to throw out the basketball acronyms, BOB, baseline out of bounds, and all of that other stuff. This is almost gonna be like coach speak. This is basically a coaching seminar 101. I expect all my little league coaches, Mark, you a good coach, coaching little league around the Southwest Atlanta area. I expect all my coaches to listen to this all the time.
Oh
This
yeah,
is where they're gonna
absolutely.
tap
Like
in.
this is elite basketball nerding out. I think that this is what before unfortunately we lost Kobe. I think that this was where he was stepping up into was like really giving the casual fan the deep NBA thought process behind what basketball really is. JJ Redick, who has an enormously exactly sneaky, but JJ Redick, who has an enormously successful podcast, Old Man and Three, and then you add LeBron. I mean, that's like Shannon Sharp and Cat Williams. Yes, everybody's gonna watch.
Yeah, I mean,
And this
yeah,
is the first time you've ever had a guy like like I said, I think this is what Kobe was about to do, but no, you don't really get a lot of LeBrons like other than like the shop. I assume that this will be more regular, and yeah, we just want to hear what he thinks about knowing that he knows everything about basketball.
yeah. I
Explain it to
wonder
me.
what
Make it make
platform.
sense.
I wonder what platform is gonna come out on. I'm assuming it's coming out on LeBron's platform. Um, that's pretty much all he does. He doesn't really do anything else. Like
Talking
everything
about on
is
the
in
NBA
house.
platform. What are you talking about? Adam Silver like, no. We do podcasts now. No, y'all, no, this one we
So you're right. It's
100% want
probably,
this
what
one.
do you call that? A joint venture. It's probably a
Yeah.
joint venture. So you're right. You're right. And then of course, there is, yo, that really could be the name of this podcast. There's the other end of the spectrum, where Lamar Odom and Caitlyn Jenner team up to launch a new sports podcast together. It's called Keeping Up with Sports, which will have two sports champions interviewing various guests along with their co-host Zach Hirsch. The first guest on their show will be Sugar Ray Leonard. Other upcoming guests are Amber Rose, Zab Judah, Steve-O, Bryce Hall, and many, many more. Their former in-laws, Lamar used to be married to Khloe Kardashian, and Caitlyn formerly being married to Kris Jenner. How y'all feel about it?
Number one, they just missed the marketing opportunity with the name of this. There are so many good names here.
I'm immature. Go ahead.
Go right to the pregame. Could have went right there. That could have been.
Y'all got or lack thereof at the end. Like that.
They both.
Oh.
I mean, yeah, but
I know the soundtrack, but I can't play the song. But there's a song. Top and bottom. That's the name of the song. It's funny. But yeah, man, I think this will be pretty entertaining. I will say, outside of the Kardashian show, you haven't really, or I haven't, maybe I'm just not in my algorithm. But yeah, has Caitlyn Jenner been like active in the media?
A little bit here and there.
Like, and I'm not talking about like being the subject. I'm talking about like being the interviewer, or not interviewer, but like being the host of something. Or has that happened?
I think so. I'm not exactly sure, but I think so. Yeah, it's
Don't know what to say.
yeah, I mean, it's just so many jokes. I'm gonna go to Twitter and just see.
You want to move on, man?
It's gonna be something. The Twitter is where it's gonna be funny.
Which podcast does better in terms of views?
That's not fair. It's LeBron. We want like. Now, I will tell you that I think that Caitlyn Jenner and Lamar Odom, if done right, which I already saw the Sugar Ray Leonard episode, like it's not gonna be what I would want. They do have potential, but I don't think that either one of them they both trying to be like legitimize themselves for different reasons, and more straight laced. But if they have fun with it, it could get funny. But they're just not trying to be funny.
Well, I mean, it can evolve as long as they have enough viewership and clout amongst their names that they have time to bring this up to speed. And I don't know. I do think LeBron and JJ will do well, but I mean, both are targeting I won't say targeting specific markets, but have a specific following. Like LeBron, so both followings show up and show out too. So
yeah,
and it's a lot more encompassing from Caitlyn Jenner and Lamar, because you have two. You have the whole everything over there with Caitlyn Jenner, and both. You have people that like both. So then you have the Kardashian part to it. So you have all of these things. I think they could, like, if they do it right, like you said, and they evolve this, they could take off, man. They got to be
the Kardashian women gonna get their men paid.
Yeah, they gonna take care of it, dog. It's definitely intentional too. Speaking of intentional, Brandon Miller. I told you, we've said for the last, at the end of the school year when everybody's just sick of everybody, and that's when all the fights happen. When it get warm outside, everybody tired of everybody. You done got mad at people. Things been bubbling up all year. This is kind of what's happening at the end of the NBA season. Like every time we come in here, we say they're getting chippy, they're fighting more, they're doing this. They're ready for the season to be over. And Brandon Miller got ejected after he basically elbowed Tyrese Maxey in the face, and Maxey had a broken nose.
Now you probably, I mean, I don't like that. I mean, the defender put his face. He's leading with his face.
Yeah, but he also threw an elbow though.
I mean, he's reaching through, like right there, he's reaching through.
What?
Nah.
Hit him with the
right.
hit him with the get off me.
You extended your arm. It don't look like it was malicious.
Look at that. That doesn't look malicious.
Nah.
Bong.
He looked like, okay, so it looked like what he was really doing was foul baiting. He looked like he threw his arm out to like, oh, you hit me. And then when he did it, he extended and caught him on the nose.
Yeah, but that's an aggressive act, man. That's an aggressive act. So yeah, man, he ended up getting ejected. A lot of NBA fans were actually kind of on each side of that. They didn't think he would be ejected because they didn't think it was intentional. But other people was like, yo, he's bleeding. Like, and you threw the elbow. Whether you meant to hit him or not, you still threw the elbow. Yeah. So
I could definitely see how you might be mad about it, but at the same time, you also be like, bruh, I'm just playing basketball too. Like people get injured playing basketball. It happens. That's Ben Simmons.
Wasn't playing basketball though, but Simmons didn't get hurt playing basketball.
In more news of not playing basketball or actually playing basketball.
In good news though, Isaiah Thomas has signed a 10-day contract with the Suns. He's making a comeback. He's one of those guys that just kind of got ushered out of the league for no real because of injuries. What it really was, it was his hip. Yeah. But he's making a comeback. Signs a 10-day contract with the Suns. I believe he was in the Charlotte G League. And then they signed him to a 10-day contract for the end of the year. Shout out to the Suns for making this move.
Yeah, and I mean, I hate that y'all keep giving this man hopes. So he go down there and tear up people in the D League, because every time he go down there and drop a 40 burger on some young kid trying to develop his game,
destroy him every time.
Give Isaiah Thomas hope, and all he do is destroy somebody else in the process.
Yep. Yeah, he's out there. He looks like the Isaiah Thomas we remember.
And the Suns need any free player that they can get. They're gonna call Jamal Crawford next.
Yeah, man. So shout out to the Suns for doing this. I was gonna say, I am gonna say, happy the Suns did this. I still think teams could sign Tony Snell to a 10-day contract, so that, or to the end of the season, so that he could get his benefits. I'm not gonna not say that. So keep doing that. Say that again. Spurs.
The Spurs. Easily. Yeah. Or the Pistons. What y'all doing?
Or the Grizzlies.
Y'all losing anyway. Do something right. Memphis. Or the Wizards. Boy.
Yeah, anybody.
Y'all need some good publicity over there. At least y'all could do is
Yeah, man. Have you seen the Mavericks? The Mavericks have been balling. You saw that Kyrie shot? That Kyrie shot with the left
runner hook. Kyrie he's so unique to me, because his level of respect from his peers is unrivaled. Like
all of them.
Anytime that people talk about basketball, who's the most talented? Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving. Like,
who's the most skilled player ever?
Mostly don't give him a lot of good credit. The NBA players know, hey man, no, it's Kyrie. It's him.
He's different. Like, so Kyrie Irving is nice. Luka is also on another planet. And for some reason, this story leaked about when Luka and Grant Williams got into it at practice. And eventually this is what kind of started the ousting of Grant Williams out of Dallas after he just signed that contract in the offseason. Grant Williams, as you know, has been trying to kind of be the tough guy. I guess he's tired of having that label or persona of being kind of the happy-go-lucky, jolly, soft guy that everybody could try. So he's been trying to be tough. Well, he tried to get tough with Luka in practice one day, and Luka finally said, all right, enough is enough, and went on a personal 26-6 run in practice to end practice on Grant Williams, which was one of his last practices in Dallas before he got traded.
Yeah, I get what Grant's trying to do. He's trying to become Patrick Beverly, where I'm just universally respected for like hard work, energy, and being a good teammate. So he's trying to go to the Mavericks team and like push everybody. But when you got a player who's like 35, 9-9, and you want to talk about like, because just from what I understand, it stemmed from like, I guess Luka not working that hard in practice. But yeah, I gotta go out here and outscore everybody. I gotta out rebound everybody. And I gotta pass everybody the ball so that they can get their points. But don't ask me about my effort. And one thing that Luka gonna do, he gonna get motherfuckers out of there. He got the coach out of there. He parked in his spot. And then Grant Williams.
He did. He parked in the coach spot.
Grant Williams, you got the hell right on out of there.
Harrison. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like Grant Williams is trying to be, Jalen Johnson just dunked on Austin Reeves. Oh, my Lord. Yes. We might lose this game, though. But, hell. Anyway, Luka, what it seems like to me about Grant Williams is trying to assert himself as a leader through intimidation. And you can't do that when you don't scare anybody. Like you can't try to be the tough guy and be a leader in intimidation. When somebody, they all call you Draymond, I mean, called your bluff immediately. On the court, off the court, in the media.
Go be a Draymond and punch somebody.
Yeah, you gotta be. Yeah, Draymond don't ever get. Folks still talk trash to Draymond, but it's a little bit different out there on the court now. The temperature changed a little bit out on the court now with Draymond. Yeah. Like, you don't really talk that much trash to Draymond, so you're right. But I don't think Grant's gonna have that.
That's the one thing that I will say now that we're talking about Draymond is somebody gotta punch him. Like everybody want to be like, oh, well, he ain't that tough. Where I come from, when people act tough like that, somebody eventually be like, well, let's see.
Somebody will find out eventually.
Ain't nobody done nothing to Draymond but say, man, you need to do better.
That reminds me of a story, and before we move on to our final topic, that reminds me of a story in the Harbors where one person who was an athlete was in the Harbors, and he had a lot of inspiration that night, and he was walking around saying, "Dang, LeBron just gave the Hawks a 6-point run," but
that's fine.
They decided to say,
"Hold on, let me address that." Right now, AD and LeBron, they're the only reason. Like, if we lose to AD and LeBron, that's fine. But they're going to have to play this way for the whole game because ain't nobody else on that team scoring but Max Christie.
Yeah, so I saw Hentai out there. Oh, said his name. Well, we'll move on.
Just cut that right there. Go ahead, time that.
But just, hey, he was saying, I bet you nobody can knock me out. I bet you nobody can knock me out. Okay. And a regular person that I know from the area that went to the school said, let's see.
Shame they did to that dog.
Oh, man. But, hey, man, I'm going to bring this up every podcast, big dog. I'm going to bring this up every single podcast. Hey, man, Zion apparently lost 25 pounds since the NBA in-season tournament that started in November. And that's why you've seen the spike in his performance basically after that. He has been balling. He has been a one-man wrecking crew at times. And he's hard to beat. Look at that. Woo! 25 pounds is... He heard you. He heard you, Norwood. He heard you.
And like, that's the thing. I'm not a hater. I want you to be that guy. I just want to see you care about your weight. We all want to see Zion hoop. We want to see this. Like, we want to see the second coming of Charles Barkley, Sean Kemp, all of that together. And nobody would not want to see that. But we also, as people who are invested and want to see you successful, we want to see you stop. Like, take care of your body. Like, that's what CJ McCollum said, man. We need our best players to play. That's what we want.
Yeah. Yeah, the only thing I hope is that this isn't just a one-off because he's trying to prove it to everybody.
That's the thing, is you got to keep this up now. Now, especially now that we know that it's possible.
Yeah, it's like making straight A's.
You got to do it.
Like making straight A's. Oh, so you can make straight A's.
Then you come back and have an A. Then your parents be like, you know what they say? Well, you could have been doing this the whole time, and I wouldn't have had to yell at you.
Now you're toast. Now you are toast. But, ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of the basketball segment of episode 143 of the Splashcast. We'll be right back with our final segment, Monday Night Raw. Football
Wait,
news.
Hold on. They can like, they can follow, they can subscribe, and they can go listen to the playlist. It's gonna be a Splashcast 24 pack out this week, Wednesday. Ding, ding, ding. That's it.
We'll be right back. Y'all stay tuned. Where's the football? There we go.
Swam, part of them. Shorty have him drip, proud of them. Put it on the jet, out of here. 2024, our year. Call paramedics, killing them. Stepping on their necks, I'm milling him. Louis leather vest, nigga trim. Running up a check, stacking them. Yeah. Hold on. I caught the top, Balenciaga. Put it in their face, bend it on them. Fly to Abu Dhabi, spin a hundred. Shit like a party, I ain't going on. Protected by sticks, I feel better. I see these buck got a vendetta. Better careful, bitch, I'm getting at her. You ain't seen one, could have pinned better. I smell it on the sky, Coretta. Pop Percocet, help it feel better. I set the trend, I'm a trendsetter. I'm not a rest, still getting cheddar. Out of my wrist, timeless. Certified factory diamonds. The young nigga going diamond. Prince, they call me Young Highness. Flip a nigga bitch, she tag team shit. I'm passing her home, man Ryan. Cook up a hit like a whipping a brick out, whipping that shit like a cayenne. I got the swag, part of them. Shorty have him drip, proud of them. Put it on the jet, out of here. 2024, our year. Call paramedics, killing them. Stepping on their necks, I'm milling him. Louis leather vest, nigga trim. Running up a check, stacking them.
Turning up your bit, Cinderella. 2024, Margiela. Money in the wall, car telling. Mansion in the hills, mall in it. Cold in the St. Laurent chinchilla. Me and when I walk, I can spin bigger. Looking in the eyes, see the sin in her. Fuck it, baby, go and bring your friend with her. Young rich bastard, I got 10 figures. Running nigga pockets, I ain't friends with her. 10 years in and I'm still with.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, with our final segment of episode 143 of the Splashcast Monday Night Raw, our football segment. We are here today to talk about it.
We still here rocking along.
Rocking along.
Get into football.
But before we get into football, there is the Ant Edwards dunk on John Collins. And what makes it worse is that John Collins is now out for the rest of the game after suffering a head contusion during the contest of Ant Edwards' dunk, and he is now out of the game.
Literal murder scene. Hate to see it.
Lord, he dunked on him so hard.
Thoughts and prayers.
Ooh. And then I looked at him. Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy. Damn, John. Hate to see it. Hate to see it. Hate to see it. But y'all know what it is when it comes to football news around the league. We talk about college. We talk about pro. We're going to start off with some college. Is this news? It's not really news. What is this? What are we talking about in college? We got Deion. We have JJ. And then we have Kirby. So let's start with Deion real quick. Dion says he does not want Shador playing anywhere cold in the NFL, as Shador plays in somewhere cold right now.
You just not that. Well, go ahead, finish your.
No, that that's you felt some type of way about this.
What are you saying? First of all, like Shador is not good enough to be saying, "Oh, I don't want to play for a cold weather team." You should be happy to be a quarterback in the NFL. And like this is like under the guys like you think Shador is gonna come in and be like a starter, like this is a lot of I know he's his coach, but this sounds very helicopter parenty to me. Man, let's just like, you know that the best quarterbacks in the league, a lot of them play in cold weather. Like, why would you even want to limit your son if you believe that he's that good? Mahomes plays in cold weather. Josh Allen plays in cold weather. Tom Brady played in cold weather. Lamar, Baltimore gets cold enough. Yeah. If you're good, you play football. You play football in whatever weather is available.
Yeah, Dion, I think you kind of gotta you gotta loosen the reins a little bit, man. You at this point, Shador, I know he's your baby. He's still your son. That's your youngest son, your baby boy, and you're looking out for him. And everything that you've done, whether you like it or not, has gotten him to this point. He is a Division I quarterback who is going to be drafted by the NFL. But you can't become that father that sabotages your son. Don't be that guy. You know, if he gets drafted to a cold weather team, he'll have to perform. Even if he gets drafted to a warm weather team, he got to play in the cold anyway. So, I mean, it is what it is.
Jordan Love didn't say, I don't want to go to a cold weather team. He went in, he got it done. Like,
yeah.
Make me sick with this. Just let your kid be your kid, man. Stop like
so
Caleb finna go play for Chicago. You think he's
supposedly? You never know.
You better go now.
Hey. So from one quarterback to another, J.J. McCarthy was caught on tape after the tournament. I mean, after winning the college football championship, he threw the trophy to Sandstrom so that he would catch it and put it up there. It was $30,000 trophy. They do this all the time, and I'm surprised it wasn't a prank where you kind of get a replica made and you drop it.
I mean, after what he pulled off this season, he should have balls of steel. Go for it, bro. I just won a championship. I had no business winning. It is what it is at this point, bro. I'm gonna do what I want to. Yeah. And I'm a mess around. I'm about to be rich anyway. That little $30,000, I'll give you that money back because I'm gonna get drafted in the first round. And I'm not even good. So yeah, I'm gonna do what I want to. You do what you want.
Come on, Minnesota. Come on, Minnesota. Give us those 2 first-round picks to trade up. Kirby Smart. So there's a growing trend is what I'm trying to say of high school kids performing and doing the same thing that college kids are doing. Famously, it was Jamar Chase, where he sat out basically his senior year to get ready for the draft after Joe Burrow left, and he didn't want to get hurt. He wanted to train. Well, high school kids are starting to sit out part of their senior years if they sign early, and then just to get ready for college football. Kirby Smart says, who I've said, Kirby Smart is kind of the new Nick Saban. He's Nick Saban Jr. He said, if you sit out your senior year, I don't really want him on my team anyway. And I agree with that 100%.
Yeah. Well, you're good in high school, kid, but you're going to have to come here and then prove to us that you are who you think you are. So, yeah, you better play. And I like that he said it. And this, for all intents and purposes, if you look over the last 4 or 5 years, it's the best program. And he just kept it real. Nah, If you can't do that, then don't come to my team.
Yeah. I had a few things to say. Like the NCAA at this point, what they're trying to control and leverage something that they created. Like, you created this problem. The early signing period is something that you created. You didn't need to have the early signing period, right? You didn't really have to let kids technically enroll early. I mean, you didn't have to make all of these provisions, but you did. Well, this is what happens as a result of each one. You're starting to see kids are now, especially with the NIL and looking at everything as a brand. When you look at everything as a brand, it's like, well, nah, we already told y'all kids are showing up to campus like, yeah, pay me $10,000 to even come here to look at you. Like, at that point, this is what you get. Y'all created this issue, and this is what's going to, it's not going to get any better.
Live with it.
And Nick Saban, as much as we talked about Nick Saban being, he sounded like the old man shaking the cane on the lawn, he wasn't wrong. Like, definitely the way that the NIL is going right now, he wasn't wrong. There you go. He wasn't wrong. So this is a product of the system or the broken system that you created. Y'all gonna have to fix it. And you can't rely on the government to do it because the government allegedly is on the side of the working man. Allegedly. But what I'm saying is they already allowed the kids to basically unionize. So
y'all doing what the hell y'all want to anyway, right?
Yeah. It's ugly. It is ugly, man. So college sports in general. Y'all got the basketball got to figure it out. Football really got to figure it out.
Everybody got their own responsibilities that they need to take care of and report back.
Yep. So, NFL. During Reggie's reactions, I kind of talked about a few things, but I didn't get a chance to get Norwood's thoughts on a lot of things. But first, we're going to start out with the hottest news. Probably in the league. Justin Fields has been traded to the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Lord, I didn't ask for this. I did not want this.
I wasn't mad at it. The Pittsburgh Steelers have been linked to him the whole time. But when I found out that they traded just a 6th round pick that conveys to a 4th round pick if he plays 51% of the snaps,
which he won't.
So they got him for a 6th round pick. I got re-mad. I was accepting of Kirk Cousins, but a 6th round pick, you could have brought him. You couldn't have brought him here. You couldn't have brought him to Atlanta and signed Kirk because then that would have created a rift. But a 6th round pick is crazy.
This is immensely frustrating to me. I can't even begin to really tell y'all how I feel about this because I'm so mad. But I'm also not a hater, so I want to be very clear. Congratulations to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Y'all, there is not a class on acquisitions of quarterbacks. You got one guy who is a future Hall of Famer, and then you have a project. So you literally have both the present for free because you only had to pay him $1.21 million. And then you have Justin Fields, which is your future, or just an asset that you can get rid of. Because the other part is somebody's going to have a quarterback who gets injured. Then at that point, you're going to be like, oh, funny story. Guess what I got here? A quarterback. You need one? You got an ace in the hole. So and then at that point, you're going to have somebody back in the corner, head in the vice. Hey, we need a quarterback, and we need a quarterback right now. And he's going to be like, hey, what you got? What I want to give me a draft pick. And it's not going to be a 6.
To me, what we've seen in this offseason is a bunch of examples of when you misread the market and you misread how people will react once things go. This was such a mismanagement of negotiating when it comes to the Bears. I understand that they're saying, they did release a statement saying we wanted to do right by Justin, and Justin picked where he wanted to go. That's cool. but y'all already gave up on him. Y'all at that point, you should have. To me,
Y'all look stupid.
you should have gotten. You could have gotten way more, and you should have gotten way more. Y'all look dumb. And to go to the Steelers, of all places, you're right. I would agree with you in saying they have the present and the future. If they didn't release it, I don't know what the Steelers are doing. Because they released a statement yesterday saying that them and Russ, the Steelers and Russell Wilson, are working on a long-term, are planning to work on a long-term contract at the end of the season. So if y'all are working on a long-term contract at the end of the season, end of the 2025 season.
Okay.
Yeah, and you're right. The Vikings did offer more apparently, but he didn't want to go, which was just insane because you would have played with Justin Jefferson. But whatever. Everybody's dumb. But
And Addison, like you,
if you as the Steelers are gonna do a long-term contract with Justin, then I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt and say your heart is in the right place and you're really there to make him develop, because Mike Tomlin, we do believe Tomlin to be that type of person and have that type of character. But he's definitely a somebody getting traded at the end of 2024. I don't know if it's going to be Russ and you sign a team friendly to trade him, or Justin is out of there. Somebody's gone.
To a couple of the homies yesterday about this, but we're going to go into this camp and the quarterbacks is going to compete. And Russell, there's a plan for you to not be starting at the beginning of the season, to be completely honest. Justin Fields is equal to or greater than Russ. You're a quarterback coach. And if you don't like it, we'll find somewhere else for you to go.
At 1.2 million, anybody you go anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey man, and this is Patriots. You guys are idiots. Commanders, you guys are idiots. I can't say the Vikings are idiots. They sound like they put together a pretty decent package. Yeah, the Raiders, like everybody, this like the Saints. This could have been your answer for the future.
Yep. And then, of course, as a result, when you bring in Russell Wilson and Justin Fields, that means Kenny Pickett is out of there. Funny story about Russ.
Wait, hold on. We got to put the timeline together here. This is what got Pickett fired. And that's how Justin Fields arrived in Pittsburgh.
Huh?
When Russell Wilson signed with the Steelers, signed with the Steelers, he reached out, and apparently the message around the Steelers was Kenny Pickett did not take this very well.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was getting to. That's what I was. Yeah. So Russ at 12:30 said he reached out. Now, backstory, Russ, the story on Russ is he will kind of like, I don't want to say stitch, but like, hey man, I don't like that guy, or I did this and he act like he didn't want to be my friend. What are you gonna do about it? Type person. Yeah. Like kind of like Carlton kind of thing, right? So apparently Russ, and that has been said by Seahawks and Broncos. Russ reached out. I didn't make that. He reached out at Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett didn't take the trade well. Didn't take the signing well. Didn't like the fact that he was being replaced, and at $250 they traded him for nothing to the Philadelphia 76ers. Philadelphia Eagles.
Might as well.
Either will be G League, NFL Europe. At $250 he's out of there. They did keep him in Pennsylvania, close to his family, which was cool. But he's gone, man, and he's now back up.
For Jalen Hurts, boy, you're never gonna see the field. At least you think, well, Russ is older, he might get hurt. Now, you need to be looking for your next team, and it might be the Argonauts, it might be the Ryan Fire, it might be two-hand tag in your church league.
The Ryan Fire, bro, that was the team. Everybody liked them.
Yep. But yeah, that's it for you, little hand Pickett. Your time has come and has gone. Where we going from here, Reg?
So we'll go to the NFC South real quick. I think I got everything. Yeah, NFC South, and then we'll talk about some of the other moves. I definitely want to hear how you feel about your boy going to Tennessee and how Tennessee feels. But before we get there, Falcons, Kirk Cousins They signed Darnell Mooney, and they signed Rondell Moore. So our starting offensive skill positions should be Bijan Robinson, Kyle Pitts, Darnell Mooney, Drake London, Kirk Cousins, and Rondell Moore as the utility guy. A lot of
Let me clear
speed.
one thing. We traded Desmond Ritter for Rondell Moore.
Mm-hmm. Straight up.
Yes. So number one, they got rid of the quarterback situation. I think that the Cardinals, you got is injured. I do think that as much as I don't think that he's a starter, I do think that he is a decent serviceable backup if
Desmond
you
Ritter?
just need like 4 games or less. Yes. But shout out to Terry Fontenot putting together a wide receiver room in a couple of minutes. Like, he went and got what we needed. Darnell Mooney, legitimate, wide receiver 2. Rondell Moore, who I think is going to be, I would like to see him very like in a CP type of role where can we get him in the backfield just a little bit, but also, let him play in the slot. He's a guy who's fast, and I would like to see the ball in his hands.
He is fast. I do want to see the ball in his hands. I don't want to see him in the backfield. I think a lot of people are forgetting about Algier, and how good he was his rookie year, when we didn't have anything. And
correct, 1,000-yard rusher.
And then last year he kind of got lost in the Arthur Smith shuffle of Jonnu Smith getting the ball more than anybody else on our team, which is why Arthur Smith got fired, plus Desmond Ritter. So I think Algier is going to play such a vital role along with Bijan Robinson because they got to be able to run the ball to keep them from blitzing because Kirk can't move. So I want to see Rondell Moore more in the, I keep saying Miko Hardman, but because that's how I see it. I see it like maybe like jet sweeps, screens, all of that, because he was super dynamic at Purdue. He just got hurt here because they didn't know how to use him in Arizona. But if they can figure out how to use him and make him kind of like a Dante Hall type guy, return man, fast guy, that's a lot of speed on the field.
Special teams. A
lot of speed on the field. Now, I will say, I think they still probably need to go get another receiver, even though they signed Cardell Hodge. I did like they brought him back. He's the other 6'4" guy. But in this lineup, you would have to play Kyle Pitts either at the Z, which is the second receiver, or you would put Mooney as the second receiver. He's only 5'10". And I see Mooney more like a Tyreek Hill type guy where you move him everywhere. So you may have to go get somebody else. But even if you don't, man, this is a lot of weapons for Kirk. There's more weapons than we've had since Matt Ryan.
And what about it? I mean, we still got the opportunity. I know it could be crazy, but
Malik
Neighbors.
He's in every mock draft now that the quarterbacks are going up. Malik Neighbors, Rome Odunze, now Marvin Harrison does not make it past 3 ever.
No.
Ever.
And as the best player in the draft, he shouldn't be. The only reason that you don't pick him is you need a quarterback. But yeah, there's gonna be somebody who's really good at 8 that's available.
I told you, man, in all of my mock drafts, the Vikings trade up with us from 11 to 8. In my mock draft, I was able to finagle getting both of their draft picks, the 11 and the 23.
That Drake May pick is going to be so regrettable.
You think so?
Absolutely.
Other news around the NFC South. Chase Young signs a 1-year fully guaranteed contract with the New Orleans Saints. To me, this is probably his last. I ain't gonna say his last, but this is your last chance to prove that you are not a bust. I think you'll end up being a regular person from there on. I think
that he probably could be He could be like great value Jadavion, just team to team to team where nobody really wants to keep you, but we'll try him. He looks the part.
But Jadavion was getting you like 7 to 10 sacks a year. When they start questioning and showing tape of your effort where you're jogging on the sideline on the goal line, not too many teams and players are gonna stand for that, especially with how specialized football is now, and there's so many trainers and all that stuff, and so many people coming out. There's too many people to take your job. He's gonna have to prove it this year. This is a prove it contract.
What do you think? I mean, let's be real here. It's only a matter of time before Jadavion becomes a Falcon anyway. Do you just sign him as the other end and then go take Rome or Neighbors?
Ideal situation, you trade down and get in the okay. So if you want to talk about it, in the ideal situation in my mock draft, when I traded down with Minnesota, I got the 11th and the 23rd for the 8th and one of my third round picks. So we got the 74th and 79th. I traded the first, which is our 8th, and the 4th for their 11 and their 23. I ended up still getting Neighbors because he dropped all the way there. And then at 23, because people kept trading up for quarterbacks and all the ends ended up still being there, the edge rushers, because they traded up for quarterbacks, and then they took Terrion Arnold. There was a run on cornerbacks. So I got Neighbors. And then at 23, I got Chop Robinson. Chop Robinson is like the 4-4 version of Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons is the 4-3 version. Chop Robinson runs a 4-4-5 and does everything that Micah Parsons did. He lines up everywhere. He's probably not as good as a middle linebacker, but he doesn't need to be. So I got those two in my scenario.
If we could get, you could get Neighbors and Chop. Or I mean, I think that Neighbors, everything that I see, it looks like Neighbors has passed Odunze. I'll take Odunze in a heartbeat.
Yeah, now he drops to us every time. The only thing, the knock on him is he doesn't create a lot of separation, which is, he's like the Jason Tatum of receivers of this draft. He makes a lot of difficult catches because he doesn't get open.
Yeah,
he's just a big body. He boxes you out. Malik Neighbors gets open.
That's what. The reason I don't mind that is Odunze is going to be playing against what? Wide receiver 2? I mean, maybe cornerback 2?
Maybe 3?
Yeah, that's the issue is, all right, now you got 3 bodies here. You got Drake London, who's a man. You have Ron Odunze, who's a man. And you have Kyle Pitts, who's a man. Oh, don't forget, Bijan Robinson's still in the backfield.
And Algier.
What? Yes. And this is my prayer. Put everybody good on the field at the same time.
At the same time.
Arthur Smith, now that's one thing. You got your Nate in there too. You got a little Nate McMillan. If you put everybody good on the field at the same time, there's not a soul that can match up with us. Especially, Tyler Algier became a decent receiving running back. Like, he can catch the ball enough. And whoever you put on him, that's worst case scenario. That's the last option. I got London over here, potentially Odunze or Neighbors on the outside there. I got Pitts running the seam. I got Bijan running into the flat, and then Algier just pass block.
Yeah, it could get ugly. It could get ugly, man. Again, on the other end of the spectrum, the Panthers traded away all their assets. Cameron, they traded away all. There you go. Traded away all their assets. They traded away Christian McCaffrey, Brian Burns, DJ Moore, Dante Jackson, and Wade Baker Mayfield. They got nothing for DJ Moore. They gave up a first. They got a first. No, they traded and a first. They traded DJ Moore and a first for Bryce Young. They got nothing.
This is embarrassing because this your team right here. This is what you was looking for.
The most egregious, because they got enough for McCaffrey. The most egregious is Brian Burns. The Los Angeles Chargers offered 3 first-round picks in 2 seconds. They offered like 5 picks for Brian Burns. Or maybe it was maybe the Raiders. No, that's Las Vegas. Los Angeles Chargers. Yeah.
Yeah.
They offered like 5 picks or 4 or 5 picks, and they said no, and now they got him for a 3rd and a 6th. That's who they traded him for.
Yeah. That's this team. But this is all David Tepper. This is organizational dysfunction. And the only person I feel bad for is Bryce. He's
David Tepper is awful. He's awful. Shout out to Dominique Foxworth. He said the best thing David Tepper did was throw the drink on someone. That's how bad he's been. That was the less.
Right.
That was the less. I don't even know the term to say that was the best of the worst.
Yeah.
In terms of David Tepper, this is
the
this
least offensive thing that he's done. Throwing a drink on somebody on a fan is the least offensive thing that you've done. Boy, let me tell you, it's a bed and you shitting in it.
Man, speaking of shit in the bed, dog, the Chargers in the same boat, bruh. Mike Williams, they cut him. Keenan Allen traded to the Bears. Austin Eckler signed with the Washington Commanders. So now they're stuck with Josh Palmer. Was it not Quentin Richardson? Quentin from TCU, the second-year receiver. Justin Herbert. Now they did restructure both of their defensive ends contracts, which is Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack. But the Chargers basically closed the chapter on on the offense here. They traded away or got rid of both of their receivers and the running back.
Well, allegedly, Lil Birdie told me that they may be reaching back out to Mike Williams after they've kind of cleaned house a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
They'll try to, they might try to, fix that situation, which they need to. You surely need to do something because, I mean, you went from where you had a high-powered offense that wasn't really the problem. It was the defense more than anything. But now but this is what happens when you're a quarterback and you get paid all that money. They expect you to do more with less.
Yeah.
You better be Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah. And Keenan Allen basically told y'all in his opening press conference in Chicago, they said, hey, we want to come restructure your contract. And he said, basically, bro, I'm not doing it. I just came off my best season, so I'm not restructuring my contract. And I agree, bro. And I'm 30. Like, nah, I got to get paid while I still can get paid.
Yeah.
And we not good. Why would I restructure it? We terrible.
Yeah, we're not. We haven't been good. Like, number one, Mahomes is still over here, bro. It's going to be tough for us to win a championship anyway. Run me my bread, first of all. Number two, I already don't get enough respect in this NFL. You think I'm going to give away my money and disrespect myself?
You right.
No.
You right. When he said he was just as good or better than Mike Evans, everybody laughed at him until he went out there and had 108 receptions for 1,500 yards receiving or whatever he had, kind of going crazy. Let's see. So let's talk about the other 3. They're not under, or 4 signings. They're not under the radar, but I think they're probably the best ones. Honorable mention to Jonathan Grenard for going from the Texans to the Vikings. I think that was a really, really good signing. I think that he is one of the better producing young players on defense, but
and loved by the Texans. But honestly, I don't think the Texans did the right thing here. Like, I understand getting Hunter, who's better at this very moment than Jonathan Grenard. You're right, but Jonathan Grenard, he's not yet gotten to his peak yet. Hunter is on the other end of that. Like, he's 29, 30 years old. How many more high level years do you think you're gonna get out of him, realistically, versus a guy who who is still going upwards. You're taking an asset who, to a certain degree, is on a decline or will begin to decline soon.
You assume. The Texans made it to the divisional final last year.
Yeah.
With
And
Rook.
and the other part is he's cheaper. Yeah,
hold
he's
on,
cheaper and younger.
hold on. He made it to the divisional final with rookie CJ Stroud, rookie Will Anderson, all those young players. I think that front office looked at this like, we have an opportunity right here to get a impact player that is at the top of his game right now, pair him with the young players, and get immediate results. When you get immediate results, you got to make that move. Daniel Hunter paired with Will Anderson, if he can be what he was in Minnesota, is that is now wreaking havoc on opposing offenses from the standpoint of getting to the passer, as well as it makes your secondary better. You already got Stingley back there, and they're probably going to draft another cornerback because the first round is full of receivers and cornerbacks. So at this point, I like this move. I peace and love the Grenard, but they going for it. This is what you gonna have to do it against that man too. You got to get pass rushers. Pass rushers basically are just as important as left tackles now, because you got Lamar Holmes. Lord, if that would be the most best creative player ever.
No, why would you even say that? No, don't make that. Lord, if you heard him, he did not mean it. Do not make no Lamar Patrick Mahomes hybrid.
But you got Lamar Jackson and you got Patrick Mahomes, and you've seen those guys, although Lamar didn't do it at the end of the year, in the game, in the championship game, they extend plays. You got to have guys that can track down those players. I think the Jacksonville Jaguars and their new head defense coordinator Ryan Nielsen are going to be a scary matchup, because they got all 6'5", 280-pound guys that can run. And I think when you do that, that's what you're getting with Daniel Hunter in Houston. I think it's a great signing. So it's gonna be crazy. The Ravens. Derrick Henry. You damn right if I'm the Texans, I signed Daniel Hunter, because Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry have finally paired up together in Baltimore, and I think that this just added 2 more years to Derrick Henry's career, because they still have a young dynamic running back there that hurt his knee at the end of the year that's supposed to be back and better. Ravens look kind of scary. Still need a receiver though.
Now you gotta go get one too, boy. That thing had me look like I was asleep.
Chloroform.
But it was. I still say to nobody, like, let me make sure I specify this. This is an excellent pickup, and shout out to the Cowboys for being idiots, not even calling the man. Let me tell you how dumb that was. I don't know what's going on, but that's about as dumb as you can be. Dumb diddy dumb dumb. With that said, great pickup by the Ravens, but still no receiver. Like, y'all, when is enough?
Maybe they get. I wouldn't be surprised if they get Xavier Leggett in the second round. That's one of those guys that is rising up the draft boards. He's from South Carolina. He's famous, if you know. He has that. He's 6'3".
You might need to go draft a wide receiver in second round.
Go draft the what?
If I'm Lamar, I'm telling them, because he's going to restructure. Go get me 2 receivers. Your first 2 picks, I want receivers. Because if you give him Zay Flowers, and 2 more receivers, and Derrick Henry, bro, we can cook now. We can cook. We can get it.
Yeah. Yeah, if they can get a receiver, I wouldn't be surprised if they move up. Like, if they can get a receiver, then they could probably, especially in the second round, like I said, it's a lot of receivers. Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry running a read option, and Ty Monken's offense is kind of crazy.
What? Go get me a wide receiver, bro. 2. That's my demand. I will restructure my contract so that we can pay other people. But in exchange, I want 2 receivers.
Yep. Per Adam Schefter, filed by Marcus Spears, Ravens free agent linebacker Patrick Queen has signed a 3-year, $41 million contract. So they lose a little bit of defense to add a little bit of offense. With the Pittsburgh Steelers, Pittsburgh has had a pretty good offseason, especially the last couple of days. Patrick Queen is a good signing. I think Baltimore is the one team that could probably stand to lose him because of Roquan Smith. And then I'm not going to lie, if I could keep Roquan and trade Patrick McQueen and sign Derrick Henry, I view that as a win in the Birdland. So, but shout out to the Steelers. Steelers get better too, and you got to see him. Now you get to see Derrick Henry, who you were traded for. You get to see him twice a year.
Yeah. Now
meet me on the field.
Now the issue with the Steelers is they traded away their one receiver, so they need like 3 again.
Just like Baltimore.
Yeah. Hey, I can't understand that for the life of me why they would do that, but I mean, and they draft so late. They draft 20th, and they looking at Cooper DeJean, the cornerback from Iowa.
Boy, have you seen his highlight tape?
Huh?
Have you seen his highlight tape?
Yeah. They're gonna try to make him into something. I hope he is as good as advertised because I'm gonna tell you, as a receiver, you ain't trying to up by the first wide receiver since Jason Sehorn, bro. Not me. Not it. You let him lock you up. Don't even make them no more.
Yeah. There was a team that, okay, so we just talked about Derrick Henry leaving Tennessee to go to Baltimore. Tennessee, to me, was a team that I thought was going to be bottom of the barrel. DeAndre Hopkins was kind of stuck in purgatory. And then they go and pull off the coup of coups and sign Calvin Ridley to a 4-year, $92 million contract. And he is now paired with DeAndre Hopkins. And they all of a sudden have a pretty good skill group out there in Tennessee for Will Levis.
And they got Tony Pollard. Like, this team is capable.
Yeah.
And I mean, this is best case scenario for Will Levis. You can't double either one of these guys, and whoever gets cornerback 2, thoughts and prayers cornerback 2. It's gonna be rough for you. Because if you think that Calvin Ridley is a wide receiver 2, you going and now I'm gonna tell you, Jacksonville, I know that this price was expensive, but you might have should have paid the toll.
Yeah, you would have to give up a second round pick.
I mean, you're probably gonna be looking like this doesn't help Trevor Lawrence, who needed some help. Like, if you look at his stats, they're basically Danny Dimes. You needed Calvin Ridley, but I understand it costing a lot of money.
Well, again, if you look at it that way, you got to look at the draft. The draft has so many receivers. There's so many receivers and cornerbacks in this draft that a lot of teams are like, I would rather see if I can draft somebody and add them to it versus having to pay. Because remember, this is surprising because Tennessee, even though it's a new regime, Tennessee didn't pay A.J. Brown. He wanted $100 million, and they were like, no, and then they gave 92 to Calvin Ridley.
Yeah, I don't think they expected the market to kind of crack open like it did. But
I'm surprised he went to Tennessee.
And they had Tannehill at quarterback then, too. You not having to pay Tannehill all that money. You got a quarterback on a rookie contract. It allows you to be a little bit more aggressive in other places. So I hate that I've seen a lot of people second guess like, oh, well, you didn't pay him. No, my money was different. You know, when you go into the mall and I know what I can afford in here and what I can't. Now I got a couple extra dollars. I can buy something different.
Yep. And before we get out of here, man, we got to say congrats to, I don't know if I call him, I guess we call him the GOAT. Is he the GOAT? Aaron Donald calls it a career after 10 years, a 10-time Pro Bowl selection, and 4-time Defensive Player of the Year. He did this in 10 years. Aaron Donald calls it a career and retires. He had been hinting at retiring for the last, 2 years? So he's fine. He actually put pen to paper, and he has left the game. He is one of only a few athletes to retire after 10 years. The other famously being Barry Sanders, and I think Calvin Johnson is somewhere in there as well. So shout out to Aaron Donald. Congratulations, brother.
Yeah. This is an excellent career. And I mean, he took 10 years and filled the unforgiven minute. Everything that he when he was there, I was here to play football at a high level, and he did that the entire time. So yeah, congratulations. I think that the writing's on the wall with the Rams that he's gone. I assume that Matt Stafford is probably got one foot out the door specifically now. So yeah, it's gonna be a overhaul in Los Angeles here, and that's where they have fucked them pigs. You remember you said that.
Well, shout out to all the quarterbacks in the AFC West giving Aaron Donald homage, including Kyler Murray, and then saying thank God after he retired. I would be upset too. But the Rams got some. It's a lot of intriguing storylines going into the draft, as it always is, because there's so many teams and so many players. But the fact that they get all of this out of the way right before the draft is the way the schedule is set up for the NFL is genius. So shout out to Aaron Donald, man. Well done. Who was better in your mind, Aaron Donald or J.J. Watt?
Probably Aaron Donald. I feel like he was just healthier.
Yeah.
His availability regularly. Like I wasn't even thinking J.J. Watt. I thought you was gonna say something like he's close to like Bruce Smith, Reggie White category of guys to me.
Yeah, I mean, J.J. Watt is like 3-time Defensive Player of the Year, right?
Yeah. I mean, J.J. Watt ain't no slouch either. Now, listen, respect now, respect.
He just happened to his body broke down at the end, but Aaron Donald to be in the year I think what makes Aaron Donald so good is that he came into the league day one. There was no build up. It was like everybody when they drafted him at like 16 or 18, we were like Aaron Donald. He's a 6'1" defensive tackle.
They just had the guy, like one of the reporters. They said like he had the tweet from when he tweeted, "Hey, Rams say that Aaron Donald is better than advertised. He's a monster." And this is like day one.
Day one.
How you be good from day one until the end of year 10 is amazing.
And I ain't
never been bad. You know how many? Even Julio Jones can't say, "Yeah, I'd have some rough years." Aaron Donald, hey, every year that I played football, I was the best.
10-time first team All-Pro. The thing about Aaron Donald is, did you see that podcast where he was talking with DK Metcalf? And they said DK was like, "Yeah, I can bench more than Aaron Donald." And they were like, "Aaron Donald, how much you bench?" He was like, 5. It was like 5 what? 500. They was like, "Right now?" He was like, "Yeah, I've been working out a long time. I can bench press 500 when I was 500 pounds right now." DK was like,
said, "Can I change my answer?"
I bench 350. I don't know what you talking about. Yeah, Aaron Donald is one of those defensive tackles. He's a better Grady Jarrett. When they show Aaron Donald and Grady Jarrett, they're those defensive tackles that are 6'1", 6'2", 300, 295, 305 pounds, but they have no body fat. Like they have a 6-pack.
Yep.
At that point, he trains with knives.
Yeah.
He trains
and
with
been
knives,
training his whole life. Like they did the whole story on him and his dad. Yeah, we've always been football players. Since he came out the womb, he's been this good.
Yeah. Birth, genetics. So, but with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of episode 143 of the Splashcast. Talked about NFL, NBA, HBCU, and pregame. Norwood, if we didn't miss anything, take us out.
We also talked about Anthony Black and Grady Dick. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys for rocking with us. Please listen to the pregame. There are jokes there. Also, please like, follow, and subscribe. Number one. More Black baseball as we begin to get ready for this baseball season. Looks like Spencer Strider may. I know I'm talking about Black baseball, but Spencer Strider might have a curveball. Let's be real here. If he has a curveball to go that fastball, I hear Cy Young. Number two, more black cowboys and cowgirls. Number three, the HBC your cousin went to, your auntie went to, the person you used to kiki in the back of the church with, the person who you make jokes about, Anthony Black and Grady Dick, send some money over there to their HBCU, the Historically Black College University in your neighborhood, the one you go to for homecoming, step shows, to just be on the yard or be around your people. Please send some money over there. We need to support HBCUs. And then finally, the greatest learning institution in all of the world, the Hampton University. We only ask for $18.68 on behalf of the year that the school was founded. Thank you guys for rocking with us again. Episode 143. It's been an adventure today.
Yep.
And go Falcons.
Yep. We out of here. Peace. Y'all love y'all. Y'all stay safe. See y'all.
Adios, mi amigos.